Hello, welcome back and thanks for joining me. This is the last video in my Joyce Clark Stash Share Sunday series. It's a mouthful. I went out to visit with Joyce on Tuesday and I got 5 or 6 or 7 boxes and bags full of craft supplies. This was one of the things that she had been saving for me. It's some sort of an old countertop organizer, and it has these little wooden dovetailed corner drawers on it. So I'm quite thrilled to have this piece of wood. I just wanted to show you the front of it here. You're not going to be able to see it for the rest of the video because I'm going to show you what's in the little drawers. I haven't looked yet. I think I put a couple of things in the drawers myself, but I wanted to see what Joyce already had in there, and I wanted to do it on camera. So I'll just pull each drawer out. So this is an empty one. It said scissors. It says embroidery scissors, 4-inch. So I'm wondering if that's what this was used for originally, was sewing supplies in a store. Oh no, I just broke one. I can glue it back together. We have the technology. So this is a nice big box. I will fix that because that's a shame. These boxes fit so perfectly into this little display. There, I'll get some glue on it later. We got some thread. There's a couple of one wooden spool. The rest of them are plastic spools. I'll leave those out because I'm not going to store them in here. We got some texture plates, which one of the reasons I went out there was to get a gel plate from her. So these will be used with that. I'll put them with my stencils and stamps and stuff. And then she's seen me use these before. She kept some for herself. I think she got them like at Value Village or something. And they're the 2-prong things that you can put a stack of papers on, and then you put this down over top of the papers, and then you fold these over, and then these little sliding things lock it into place. So they're fun to use for stacking up papers, making paper pads, and it gives it kind of a cool vintage vibe because you don't see people using these anymore. I could even age the metal on them. That might be fun to do. There's a little thing to make an eyeglass chain. An elastic band, you can always use those as a crafter. And a notepad, magnetic one, French Baroque collection. Very pretty. I often send a few pages of this in Happy Mail. And then we've got, so that said thread, and the other side said household shears, 8-inch, 225. I'm going to leave the old labels out. And then this one is empty just with a couple of paper clips in it. Use the paper clips. I won't bother keeping the toothpick. And then this one said hair trimming shears, $2. This one says household shears, $2, and it's paper clips and thumbtacks. And then thread, and this looks like elastic thread maybe. Yeah, elastic thread in black. And some tiny little ones, probably out of a sewing kit. And then this one said dressmaker shears, 7.5 inches. I just love little cabinets with drawers. So this is probably going to get a spot right here in my work area. Some flat head pins. My sister uses these when she sews. And then there's a plastic thimble and another finger guard or whatever that is. And this one, did I already show you? Household shears, 6-inch. Ooh, a couple of these. Now I was showing her, she saved the whole ribbon thing for me, and I just tore these right off of it and showed her how to make those corners I don't think I've done those on camera yet. Or did I? Maybe I did. I don't remember. I made a whole bunch of them in front of the TV and I haven't decorated them yet. So maybe I'll just do another video of it anyway. But I like using things like this for the base. And then you decorate them and whatever you see, you see. But hopefully you see enough to get a hint of what it used to be. Because I love that idea of upcycling something. And then Twinings tea card. Came out of a box of tea, I would imagine. What's in here? There's a whole bunch of, at first glance, I thought it was thread, but it's very thin colored aluminum wire. So I can use that to make all sorts of little shapes for dangles in my journals. I have some already because I used to make jewelry, but I can always use more. I can do that kind of thing out on the porch as well. There's one bead in there. And then this is an interesting little package. It looks like there's some fabric and some paper. So what have we got here? Someone's swatches for making a quilt maybe. And little directions of how they were going to do it. That's kind of cool. Great for a sewing journal, just to include that in the journal as it is. Some little swatches of fabric. What's this here? Same thing. Little swatches of someone was going to make a quilt. I'm curious if these were yours, Joyce, or if they're just something you had in your stash. And the other thing, Joyce, if any of these things that I'm showing in these videos, if you have regret, don't feel funny about asking me for something back. If I still have it, it's yours. There's some more fabric swatches for a quilt and maybe, yeah, a log cabin quilt square. So I will keep all this stuff in with my sewing stuff. And then when I go to make a sewing project junk journal, I'll just include them in the pockets. That's gold, real vintage stuff. I'll put those back in the baggie, and all this sewing stuff is going to go together. I've got a room upstairs, one of my spare bedrooms, where I keep stuff like that, the sewing stuff. And 7-inch light trimmers, $2.75. I think that would be the prices, the $2.75. Oh no, this one, yeah, it does. That one's empty, but it was embroidery scissors. I'm going to keep those old labels out. I think they're cool. Until I decide what I'm putting in them. There's some heat bond light. So it looks like iron-on tape for hemming. And this one is ultra, so it will do medium to heavy laces, ribbons, and trims. So that's a handy thing to have. I will put it with my sewing stuff. And that one's sewing scissors, 6-inch, $2.25. Oh, and we met one day. The first day we met, there was a postal strike on. And whatever group we were in, I think it was Junk Journal Junkies Canada. I didn't have my Facebook group yet. Because the postage strike was on, we were paired up to do a napkin swap in this group. And because the postage strike was on, we couldn't mail our swap. So we got talking and realized we lived close enough together. We met at Value Village and exchanged our napkins, and we didn't talk too much. We were both, I think, a little bit shy that day. But she told me she had picked these up that day and wanted to share them with me. And when we got together, I think about a year ago, we got together and she couldn't find them. And I think it was bugging her that she couldn't find them to give them to me. So I got them this time. And I really cannot wait to play with these. They're little, just envelopes. There's no cards to go with them. So I can decorate the fronts of them like I've done with a bunch of little coin envelopes, only these are just like regular style envelopes. The other thing I would like to do with these is take them apart and make a pattern and make some out of different kinds of paper. So I can't wait to play with those, Joyce. You were right to keep looking for those because I will definitely appreciate them and use them. And I hope that some of the projects that I do with them on camera that you'll play along with me. And then we've got, I think this is like a chalk thing that you mark when you're a seamstress to mark your hems and stuff. So I'll put that with the sewing stuff. And then these T-pins, my mom used to use these when she did macrame. So you have a board, a foam board or cardboard board that you pin the strings to so that you can braid it and knot it and everything. And this is the kind of pin that they often use for that. I think they might use them for other things too, but that's what I remember them from, is from macrame. And then there's this little bit of, I'd say nylon, but it does have a bit of a fuzzy appearance. Maybe that's just because of how old it is. But it's just a nice sort of semi-silky, thin pink trim. Very pretty. I'm going to love using that, finding a place to use that. Reminds me of Happiness in Crafting and the kinds of things that she uses to make little bows. And this one's 6-inch light trimmers, $2.50. And then we've got 5-inch sewing scissors, $2. I wish I had examples of what these should look like, because it would be so cool to have pictures of them. And this is just a little box of pins, a couple buttons, a little metal bobbin. Goes with the sewing stuff. And then some quilting needle, Quilter's Needle Compact. Never heard it called a compact before, but that makes sense. Of 30 needles. Seems to be unopened, although it's not under plastic. There could be some missing. So you turn the cover until the opening is over the needle you want, and then you can pop it out. Pretty sure that's how these work. Maybe you have to punch those. Oh no, there's a little hole. There's a little hole there. So you line it up with which needle you want, and then you shake it out. Like a salt shaker, only for needles. And you just keep moving that around. If you've got it at the side, nothing's going to fall out. So I love stuff like that, especially in the original packages. 5-inch sewing scissors, $2. I might paint the box. It's a little scruffy. It would look good in black with the black writing on the things. And then there's a whole thing of safety pins. Again, I'll use that with my sewing stuff. But I was thinking, I saw a project the other day where it was just a little mini scrappy notebook, and they, instead of using brads, they used an actual safety pin to hold the papers all together. And then when you do that, you can then hang dangles off the safety pin. So that'll be a video. Now that's an open package, so I don't know. I do like to keep these original packages, even if I use them to make journaling cards for my sewing journals. And I do want to make some sewing journals because I have a lot of sewers in my family. Now this box looks like it has been repaired, so the back with the label on it got taken off, but someone used a piece of cork. So ingenious. It's too bad because all of the rest of them, oh, that one has the original label. So that's good. Put that on the back. I'm putting them back in the box with the old labels showing. And then just some Post-it notes. I'm always using Post-it notes, so that's great. And this one was what? 5-inch embroidery scissors, $2. So I'm going to leave those with those old labels facing out. I'll just show you. Oh, is there still something in there? Did I leave stuff in one of them? Oh yeah, just those. I can hear them in there. So that's what the old labels look like in the container. So I think if I painted this black, it would look really sharp. Or maybe I'll paint it black and then collage on it or something. Make it look really cool. Sewing stuff all over it would be cool. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing that little treasure box. And I know I did. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff in there, but enough to make it an interesting video, I think. And it's been, 15 minutes, so not too long of a video. And if I ever do anything with this, I will bring you back to show you how I fix it up or whatever. It's kind of neat. It's got the back is like 10 masonite tacked on with nails, but on the one end, and I'm gonna have trouble showing you this, but on the one end there's like a little hook, like maybe it attached to something else. You can see that, yeah. So anyway, I'm just really thrilled with this, and I can't wait to fill it up with my things. So thanks for watching today. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, but most of all, have a great day and happy crafting.